Many times I get asked, how do I keep from losing all my money in the stock market? How do I survive the stock market? Where do I set my stop protection if I do want to, sell a stock that it's not going in my direction? Like how do you do that? So I'm here to tell you guys and show you how to do that. It's Ronnie G from Young Money Club. If you are struggling with these stop losses and struggling on knowing when to sell your stock that you have bought and it's just going bad and you're losing a lot of money, go ahead and leave a comment. And if this video is very helpful to you, then leave a comment as well. Share it with a friend that's also struggling to really get a footing in the market. I want to talk about this recent play on FSLY. This company, I was looking at buying around $14.18. Now, showing you guys this, I got in this trade February 28th, this year, 2023. And I've seen a lot of volume spikes, right? That's why I eventually wanted to buy in. I like to find stocks that have recently ran 50% or more, but they always eventually pull back. And so when I see this pullback, I basically start setting up this entry point. I look for a cool support or demand zone, as you can see. I have that set up right there where it started to pull back. It started to make some jagged lines and consolidate. The price is not really wanting to move down anymore. And so this is when I know that there is a demand right there. So I kind of drew out the demand zone from multiple support points and multiple resistance. And I kind of set my buy right above that resistance line of the buy zone or the support. And it's just a bigger support line is what I like to do. So with that being said, I watched this play out. Like I said, I bought around $14.18. I did end up selling early, but there was upside still. And I sold early because the CPI data was coming out. With that coming out, the feds, everybody's talking about the economy. I didn't know if it was going to be negative results or bad results. I didn't know if Powell was going to actually raise interest rates even more to combat inflation. When that stuff happens, it tends to affect the whole stock market. Now, I trade small cap, so it doesn't affect it that much, but I went ahead and took profits early. And I'll go ahead and show you guys how it ended up playing out. So I ended up selling at $15.52. But imagine if I would have set this up very short. Like I usually set it 10% below my entry, right? And if you look at it, I'll show you guys how that looks where it's currently at today. But if I was to set this stop loss 5% below, I would have got stopped out because look at where it's at today. I would have got stopped out right here at this point, and I would have been upset, or probably not, because when you become a expert trader, like losses are a dime of a dozen. Like you're gonna have losses, can't avoid it. But I didn't. I actively managed it. I think the data came out, I want to say maybe some days, um, after. I want to say it came out around the 6th or the 5th. And I went ahead and said, you know what? No. Actually, it came out on the 7th. And the market did drop. So it did affect our stocks, as you can see how it played out. This is when I sold my position. But if you look at the real-time chart right now, this is where it dipped, but it did come back. But if you had that stop set short, you get stopped out prematurely. Your stop loss, give it room to breathe. Like I usually do 9 to 13% from my entry point. 9 to 13% below my entry point. And that gives it room to actually keep going. And usually for new traders, you guys set stops very prematurely. I used to do it all the time when I first started because I didn't like to lose. I didn't want to lose no money, but I wanted to gain everything. But with swing trading, day trading, you got to give it some room to breathe. You got to stay disciplined with where to set the stops. But over time, you start to recognize these patterns where you know where to set your stop loss, where you know how stocks usually drop and go below support, even if it does go up later. I see it all the time where I used to get into stocks and I would get stopped out prematurely, but I would keep watching the stock and I realized something that these stocks were hitting my price point. So I was right, but I was wrong on where to set my stop. And this is why I started to adjust and understand I need to set this thing a little bit lower. That way it plays out very well. So that's usually how I do it. 9 to 13% in between those. Just depends on, where the stop is or where the support is. Depends on when I got in. Like if I would have got in a lot more up here, I would have probably set it a little bit deeper, probably 13%. But it would have been a lot different if, I got up here. My stop would have been right here instead. So around the same area. But if I'm really precise on getting in right at the buy zone and right above it, usually I like to get right above the buy zone right here. Then that's when I can set it 9-10%. But this helps your portfolio grow over time. So don't think of losses as end all, be all. Think of losses as a lesson that you need to learn. You need to analyze and adjust when things are not going in your favor. Your portfolio is not growing. A lot of the times, this is why a lot of new traders' portfolios don't grow. It simply just doesn't grow at all because you guys are setting your stop loss prematurely. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. It can affect your mental. You're probably thinking right now, man, I've been losing, taking loss after loss. So if you can avoid that, avoid it. I'm giving you the keys right now, all for free. So you guys, I hope this really helped you. If it did, go ahead and punch that comment button and leave me some words of encouragement. Let me know how it's going for you if you tried it. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Share this with your friends and your other trader friends that are struggling. Share it with all communities. So I hope this was helpful. And that's pretty much all I got for you. All right.